10 years have flown by since Max Verstappen's brief stint in junior single-seaters catapulted him into the realm of motorsport stardom. Fast forward to today and he's clinched 3 world championships, all with Red Bull outshining formidable rivals like Mercedes. But let's rewind to his Formula 3 days. Just how dazzling was Verstappen on that circuit? Let's find out. Max Verstappen's whirlwind entry into Formula 1 at a mere 17 years old sent shockwaves through the racing world, forcing the FIA to quickly rethink their age limits to prevent a repeat of such a young driver from gracing the F1 track again. But what sparked Red Bull's unwavering belief in this teenage sensation? That must be his Formula 3 performance. Verstappen had skipped the usual lower levels and chose F3 as his first single-seater championship. Despite being relatively new to this level of racing, he managed to rack up enough points in the first 12 rounds to sit in a respectable 5th place in the championship standings. But there was a sense that Verstappen was capable of so much more. Even though he only scored points in 5 races, he had already snagged his first win at Hockenheimring. Then came the triple header at Spa-Francorchamps, where Verstappen truly stole the show. At Spa, Verstappen showcased his exceptional talent in style. He became the first driver that season to win all 3 races in a single weekend. It was a display of sheer dominance that left everyone in awe. People couldn't help but draw comparisons between Verstappen's performance and the incredible skills of Michael Schumacher. Max Verstappen's next challenge unfolded at the Norrisring, a circuit that stood in stark contrast to the sprawling tracks he had conquered before. Unlike the expansive stretches of Spa-Francorchamps, the Norrisring was a compact and narrow circuit, spanning a mere 2.3 kilometers. Despite its seemingly simplistic layout, this track harbored hidden challenges, particularly when the rain swept in, adding an extra layer of complexity to an already demanding course. Following a remarkable victory in the opening race, Verstappen found himself soaring to 2nd place in the standings. Yet the consistent Esteban Ocon remained a daunting 106 points ahead, having clinched 5 wins and numerous podium finishes. Despite the odds, Verstappen held on to hope, knowing that with 425 points still on the table, a championship challenge was not out of reach. Securing pole position by the slimmest of margins over Ocon in the next race, Verstappen's skill behind the wheel was undeniable. As the race commenced on the damp track, he wasted no time in asserting his dominance, maintaining his lead while Ocon slipped to 3rd behind Tom Blomqvist. Verstappen's lead stretched to a commanding 3.9 seconds before a collision forced a safety car intervention. But the plot thickened as rain began to fall, leading to a red flag and a crucial moment for teams to switch to wet weather tyres. When racing resumed, Verstappen remained unfazed, holding onto his lead as Ocon and Blomqvist encountered trouble behind him. Another appearance of the safety car hinted at the unpredictable nature of the race, ultimately shortening it from the intended 42 laps. Nevertheless, Verstappen persisted, demonstrating his prowess as the safety car exited for the final time on lap 23. In the midst of wet and challenging conditions, Max Verstappen's performance was nothing short of extraordinary, leaving spectators in awe and his competitors trailing far behind. The sequence of Verstappen's acceleration, recorded lap by lap, revealed his utter dominance. By lap 24, he had already surged ahead, leading by 0.485 seconds. With each subsequent lap, his lead expanded exponentially, leaving his rivals struggling to keep pace. When the checkered flag finally waved, Verstappen had stretched his advantage to a remarkable 8.827 seconds ahead of the competition. With a burst of speed that seemed almost effortless, Verstappen crossed the finish line, securing yet another victory in his illustrious career. His performance at the Norrisring added another remarkable chapter to his burgeoning legacy, cementing his status as one of the brightest stars in the world of motorsport. Franz Tost, the Toro Rosso team principal at the time, couldn't help but marvel at Verstappen's prowess, especially during that memorable race at the Norrisring. Tost expressed his amazement, stating, "As you know, a lap at the Norrisring is short. It takes less than a minute. Still, Max was 1 or 2 seconds faster there than the rest. It was incredible. He had just flown off in the rain. Very impressive." Drawing parallels to a legendary race by Michael Schumacher in Formula Ford, Tost was quick to recognize Verstappen's exceptional talent and innate understanding of car dynamics and grip. He shared, "It immediately reminded me of a race by Michael Schumacher in Formula Ford at the Salzburg Ring in the 1980s. He won that one in wet conditions and in the process wiped the floor with everyone. It was immediately clear to me that Max is an extraordinary driver, a huge talent with an incredible feel for the car and grip. That's really a big advantage to him." Convinced of Verstappen's potential, Tost wasted no time in discussing the young driver's future with Red Bull Motorsport consultant Helmut Marko. Despite Verstappen being 2 months shy of his 17th birthday at the time, Tost remained resolute in his belief, stating when Max first tested at Friday practice, he was just 17. Many experts said it was far too early, to which I said, but not for Max Verstappen. I was 100% convinced that we could take Max straight from Formula 3 to Formula 1. The speed wasn't a problem for Max at all either. He got used to it straight away. A driver of his level can switch to a faster car without any problem. Within 15 laps, he has everything under control. Franz Tost's admiration for Max Verstappen's exceptional talent extends far beyond his impressive performance at the Nürburgring race. In fact, Tost's unwavering praise for Verstappen traces back to his early days in go-karting, where the budding prodigy first showcased glimpses of his extraordinary skill. Recalling those formative years, Tost reminisced fondly. Some of the kart races, mamma mia, how he drove, how he overtook, and how he had everything under control was just fantastic. Even in those early races, Verstappen's innate ability to maneuver his kart with precision and confidence left a lasting impression on Tost, who recognized his potential for greatness from the start. In a surprising turn of events, just 44 days after his dazzling performance at the Nürburgring, Max Verstappen's journey took an electrifying turn as he was unveiled as a Red Bull Junior driver. It was a testament to the sheer brilliance he had displayed on the track, propelling him into the spotlight at a mere 17 years old, making him the youngest driver ever in Formula 1's storied history. It was a remarkable feat, especially considering he hadn't even attained a regular driver's license. Verstappen's meteoric rise sparked discussions across the F1 community, with concerns raised about his readiness for the elite level of competition. The sport's governing body, the FIA, even introduced a minimum age limit of 18 the following year, spurred by the sheer audacity of Verstappen's entry onto the grid. However, he wasted no time in dispelling any doubts, showcasing a level of car control and maturity that defied his age and cemented his place among the sport's elite. Despite his brief time with Toro Rosso, Verstappen's impact was undeniable. In a mere 18 months, he etched his name in the annals of F1 history, becoming the sport's youngest point scorer in just his second race. His best finishes of 4th place in Hungary and the United States further underscored his remarkable talent, even amidst the challenges of driving for one of the smaller teams on the grid. One pivotal moment in his journey came just 4 races into his second F1 season, when he received a shock promotion to Red Bull's senior team, displacing the struggling Daniel Kvyat. The decision was unprecedented, as teams rarely shuffled their driver lineup mid-season, let alone so early. But Red Bull had a clear objective: to thrust Verstappen into the spotlight, showcasing his prodigious talent on a stage befitting his abilities. And he didn't disappoint. Making his debut for Red Bull at the Spanish Grand Prix, Verstappen delivered a masterclass in racing prowess. In the breathtaking display of skill, he held off the formidable trio of Vettel, Raikkonen and Ricciardo, drivers with 5 world titles and countless race starts between them, to clinch victory. At just 18 years old, Verstappen etched his name in the history books as the youngest race winner in F1, a record unlikely to ever be surpassed. Verstappen had long been touted as a future champion, and the opportunity to realize this potential arrived in 2021, and he seized it with both hands. In a nail-biting finale at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Verstappen wrestled the World Championship title from Lewis Hamilton on the final lap, fulfilling the prophecy of those who had always believed in his greatness. Among those believers was Van Amersfoort, Verstappen's former team boss, who had unwavering faith in his protege's abilities. Reflecting on Verstappen's journey from Formula 3 to F1, Van Amersfoort noted that while some aspects of his driving may have evolved, the essence of his talent remains unchanged. Van Amersfoort explained, "Max drove in F3 exactly the way he drives now. He hasn't really changed. In the period between then and now, he may have started driving with his head a little more, but he will always push. Max goes to the limit and stops only when he's at the finish. The actions Max made with us in 2014 are similar to the actions he shows in F1 now. Only then he drove it in front of a much smaller audience and the outside world didn't see it. Now he does it in front of millions of people, but Max was ready to enter Formula 1 after 2 races in F3. The man is just so beyond talented in his feeling for the car, but also mentally. That paid off last season." What's your thought about Max Verstappen's Formula 3 performance? Let us know in the comment section below.